Hey everyone, this is NitrousCorolla LGT Mustang today. I guess we'll start off by talking about this month's new character, Captain Adam. So far my thoughts on him overall is he's not too bad. I mean, he's not too bad of a character. I'd say I give him he's probably a solid B. If this new item they created this month called Disease, they start really working on that, then it might be worth a lot more. He might be bumped up to an A. But I guess first we'll talk about his first ability, his phasing punch. It does special damage to an enemy. It ignores shields and awareness. So that's like a double whammy right there. I mean, that phasing punch, it's not overly a powerful hit or anything like that, but it does do okay damage. Now his legendary for this is can't miss if the target has disease. Like I said, disease is relatively new, and as of now, he's the only one doing it. But if it becomes bigger in the future, I can definitely see that wanting to be higher on your to-do list for legendary upgrades. His second ability is Quantum Field. It does light special damage and apply 2 intelligence down to all enemies. And then the legendary for this is also apply 2 strength downs to all enemies. Again, this right here, it's not a bad one to go to for an overall thing if you're trying to debuff teams and you really have a good Constantine and you're trying to find somebody who can give more debuffs on a team. That'll help out a lot, but also trying to make the enemies a little less strong. It does okay. It does type of damage. It does say light. So now his third one is Radiation Bombardment, heavy special damage, and you can apply up to 2 diseases on an enemy. Now I will say his heavy special damage on this actually does heavy special damage. With no buffs on him or anything, on physical characters, he'll take about 75% of their health roughly. And like I said, it does pretty decent damage. Now the legendary for this is apply heal immunity before the damage. That's really awesome to have with all these revivers and everything else like that. You can hit them with that and you don't have to worry about them no more, obviously. So I actually went with that for my first upgrade just because I like the heal immunity. With all the revivers, it gets so annoying when you're trying to like Solomon Grundy. I couldn't tell you how many times he revived the other day on me. He just kept reviving. Heal immunity, you ain't gonna worry about that. So I like that one. His fourth ability is a passive. When an enemy hits Captain Adam, he can do up to a 50% chance to apply 1 disease, intelligence down, and 2 agility downs. So again, he's got, basically if someone hits him, he's got a 50-50 chance to apply a disease, intelligence and agility downs. Now, the legendary for this is also deal light special damage. That one's near the bottom of the list for me. It's a nice after effect. You got a 50% chance to do a little damage to somebody if they hit you. For me right now, it's just near the bottom of the list. Nuclear Counter is his other passive. It's another up to 50% chance on using Phasing Punch, his first ability, at the end of every enemy's turn if that enemy has disease. Legendary for this is 35% chance to use Phasing Punch twice. That's depending on how disease works out in the future. that would be really high on your list or really low. But right now, since disease really isn't a big thing, it's just him, I personally would do his 3 first, then 2 is quantum field, and then I would do 4 next, also doing the light special damage, and then I would do 1 and then 5. That's if, disease really is, if he's gonna be the only one doing disease, or if you don't feel like disease is gonna be all that special in the future. That's the route I would probably take. Now if disease does become a big thing, like I've heard some people talking like Chemo might get a rework and he might be doing, his diseases and things like that. And if that's the case, if they start trying to rework characters or make characters that have disease, you might want to go a different route. I would actually then choose 1 first, since if they're going to have disease, he's not going to be able to miss, and he's going to have a 50% chance of using it again and not miss. So I would go with, if disease becomes big or popular, I would go 1 first, then 5, and then I would do the 3, and then his 2, and then 4 for last. But it's so hard to tell what, if disease is going to be good or not. If it does become good, like I said, that'll probably be my next upgrade, just because, like I said, his 3 does good. If disease works out, where, he can spread it to everybody and other characters are able to put disease on the enemies, then, he could be a really, really good character. But as of now, he's pretty decent. He does okay. I guess that is all for today. I guess next time we'll talk about one of the reworks for the month, or we could talk about, I can't remember which rework person's coming up next. I don't know if we're using, I think it's Firestorm is going to be the next one. Firestorm's the next rework character that they're using. And then Reverse Flash, which I can't wait to get some Reverse Flash shards, because if we go all the way down to the bottom of my list, oh, he's not there. Where is he? There he is. He's obviously extremely weak. I only am at 3 stars. I can't wait to upgrade him a little bit. And then, we have the new character for the month. After that, old Booster Gold. Well, until next time, everybody, take care and have fun. Happy gaming, I guess.